One day, on a calm day, a fog began to disperse across the planet. None of the people knew what was happening. It was a rebirth of evil, a rebirth of mythical creatures, who until then had been mere myths to all men. The worst of them all were the mythical gods. Throughout the years, when people thought the mythical creatures were fictitious, they had gained strength and were now ready to restore chaos to the world. They all wanted to destroy humans, and above it all, somewhere high in the sky by the month, a god was towering. An elderly man mentored a blind boy who had been given powers to destroy monsters. He was talking about how much he wanted to get the powers earlier to help people and move towards peace on the planet. He really wanted the boy not to waste his powers and help people. The boy asked if he could just protect his family, and the man said he saw great potential in his sword. He believed that depending on the blind man's choices, he could be an example to all humanity and lead the way. Everyone wants to protect their home, their family, their teammates, their classmates, their friends. All these people who want to protect have joined together in the Night Watch to protect people from evil together. Agent Seraphim is under contract to join the Night's Watch for 10 years, but after that time is up he will leave. You know the commitment of the Night's Watch, death for the sake of the planet. Humans were confident in their powers and destroyed mythical gods. Sometimes, when people could not destroy a god, they were willing to give their lives. But other groups came to their rescue. "I forbid the gods on our planet," shouted the two sword-wielding warriors in the red cloak. The protagonist climbed the steps, spoke his thoughts aloud and told them that for 5 years after one incident he had been having this dream. Every time he falls asleep, he finds himself in this mental hospital, and every time it seemed to be calling to him. And all he has to do is knock on the gate of the mental hospital, even though all these years that gate has never opened. "Brother, get up, the food is ready," came a voice from the kitchen. "All right, be right down," he replied. Every time after this dream he feels fatigued, and this time nothing has changed. After that tragic day, he has become not only mentally ill but also blind. Although, more accurately, he sees the world differently. Going down to the kitchen, the hero's mother told him to have a doctor waiting for him for an appointment in his room and to hurry to him. "All right," he replied. The doctor started the appointment by clarifying the details. "Your name is Lin Ji-yi, and you are 17 years old, correct?" the doctor asked. "Yes," replied Lin. The doctor asked Lin to tell him about an accident that happened 10 years ago. Lin began to tell about the night it all happened. He was sitting in the open sky watching the beautifully shining moon, and then he noticed an angel standing alone. This angel had 6 golden wings and was covered in a beautiful golden glow. "An angel?" Lin asked in disbelief. "Yes, since that day my eyes have never opened again," he replied. The doctor initially wanted to write in his medical records that Lin was mentally ill, but Lin stopped him, claiming that he understood that it was all in his imagination and that his loss of vision was the result of falling off a ledge with his head and damaging his optic nerves, causing him to go blind. The doctor wrote down that his mental state was normal and wished him happiness and to live happily, ignoring his problems. Lin Chi thanked and said goodbye to the doctor. Back at home and sitting at the table with his family, Lin Chi's brother asked him about his eyes. Lin reassured him by saying that there was no need to worry about him and that there was nothing wrong with his eyesight. "Let us be patient. One day everything will fall into place. Until then, we won't torment you or ourselves with questions about his eyesight," said Lin's mother. "Aha," Lin confirmed in response to his mother. At the same moment, switching to the subject of school, Lin's mother said, "What, they've sorted out the paperwork," but she decided to ask her son again if he definitely wants to transfer to another school. He replied in the affirmative, saying he had made up his mind completely and would not change his decision. Lin said his eyes would soon recover, and so he needed to start studying now to catch up with his peers if he wanted to be on par with them when he went to university. His mother, in a gentle kind tone, told him not to worry about exams because he was her son and she would love him even if he failed them, and his brother, chewing over, added that he would also look after him. But in fact Lin had deceived his mother and brother. He still couldn't get his eyes open, no matter how hard he tried. All attempts were unsuccessful. He wasn't lying though, because even with his eyes closed he could see everything around him ever since his eyes changed 5 years ago, allowing him to perceive everything around him. At first he could only see a few centimeters around him, but over time the progress has increased and he can now see 10 meters around him. Even if a person can see 10 meters around him, he is still considered blind, but to him it means everything. Standing on the balcony and looking up at the sky, he turned as if to the angel he had met 10 years ago and wondered if he was following him. Lin decided to go to bed early and said with a weary voice that he was going to knock on that gate again. The action shifts to the streets of the city, where monsters are running away from people who want to kill them. These men, like a real team, work together to kill the monsters in order to keep this peaceful night. One of their warriors used a power they called the Forbidden Ruin. After using this power, the place where the monsters were was surrounded by a barrier that they couldn't break through, and a team of warriors caught up with them to kill them. On the first day of school, Lin came fully prepared. The teacher introduced Lin to the whole class, telling them about his peculiarities and asked everyone to help him together. The teacher told him to blend in and socialize with his classmates, although Lin himself had no hope of studying in a group, as he understood that interest groups had already been formed the previous school year, and he was also handicapped, but he found the upside in this, as he thought he would be able to concentrate on his studies. To the surprise of the protagonist, the whole class welcomed him good-naturedly and everyone tried to help him in some way. Someone took him to his seat, someone wanted to help him with his bag. Later, when everything was over, a group of his classmates came up to his desks and started asking about his eyes and how it happened, to which Lin replied that it was an accident. Classmate Jiang Qian said with a smile on his face that he was good with teachers and if he needed anything he should not hesitate to tell her. Another classmate, Li Yifei, promised to treat him to dinner. Lin Qi was very surprised as he didn't expect to be received with such kindness and even asked why they were so kind to him. Perhaps they knew him? Well, partly so the class teacher told us about you, Qian said, interrupting her. Yifei said that a few days before he came, his aunt was at school and handed out lollipops to everyone asking them to take care of Lina, telling them that even though he was cold on the outside, he was as soft as candy floss on the inside. The boy understood everything and smiled. Already in class the teacher began to tell the story that 100 years ago there were more than 200 countries on Earth, spread over 7 continents and 4 seas. But at one point a black, thick, absorbing fog appeared in Antarctica. The mysterious, highly toxic fog was spreading with colossal speed, and had already consumed 98% of the entire land area in 24 hours. The nature of the fog defied human comprehension. No method in existence at the time was effective in combating the fog. And no one knows for sure if there are any countries outside this fog. We may be the last people to survive on this planet. When Chi's night guard killed the monsters one by one without giving them a chance. But misfortune struck and a huge monstrous creature stood before Ah Hong, piercing her with its fangs. With a severe wound, she managed to report that they had lost this battle because of her mistake. The group of friends walked and talked about the maniac and the fact that many people had died here. Suddenly they stopped after smelling a corpse and were surprised to say that such a thing could not happen. Even if something had happened, it was already all over the news. They decided to go into the tunnel and check out what was going on. When they entered the tunnel they saw the corpse of a woman being eaten by a monster. They were immediately frightened and drew the monster's attention to themselves. The monster dropped the corpse and headed towards them. They started running out of the tunnel to escape the monster. Qian turned around and saw that the monster had almost caught up with her and Lin, and to save herself, threw the bag to Lin. At that moment Lin dodged the bag and it hit the monster. At the exit of the tunnel Qian caught another monster at high speed, which appeared out of nowhere. The boy was determined that he had to fight them. He successfully struck with his staff, but received a blow to the back that knocked him back and hurt his shin. He did not understand why all this was happening to him. Even as a child he had lost his sight, had been treated in psychiatric clinics, and despite all the hardships he had endured it all. It was only when he started to think he had started a good new life that these monsters appeared. "I hate you!" he shouted. And at that moment a power unknown to him awoke in the sky, emitting a bright beam. A group of warriors who had been ambushed by the monsters were treating Ah Hong's wounds and informed the man that the monsters had ambushed him, but they had managed to escape towards the old city. Then a stranger, running towards the monsters to destroy them, saw a light that rose into the sky. All the men of the night guard understood that this was the awakening of a new rune, and they all realized that this power was extraordinarily powerful. The man who ran to kill the monsters could not believe that there was someone so powerful in such a small town. One of the members of the night guard thought that this energy was not like the energy of the forbidden runes of men, but more like that which belongs to God. The angel the protagonist had seen 10 years before had incarnated in Lin's body. Because of this, his reactions have doubled, and he began to feel everything at a distance of 20 meters. The main character began to easily kill monsters with divine power, but at one point his body stopped and he could not move. At this point the monsters tried to attack him, but the man, who ran to the rescue, started a battle with them and successfully killed them without too much trouble. The man was interested in what Lin liked so much about his knife and suggested that he join their organization, and then he would give up his knife. He refused, reasoning that he might be killed. The man introduced himself, his name was Zhao Kongchen, and asked him not to jump to conclusions. Lan refused and asked to be released so that he could retrieve his bag, which contained expensive and important manuals. On arriving home, Lan said hello to his brother, who asked why he had come so late. In justification, Lan said that he had been held up at school and asked if his brother had completed his assignments. The protagonist was very tired, so he decided to go to bed, but before he did so his brother asked if he was all right because he could smell blood from him. Lan said he was fine and went to sleep. Again in his dream he found himself outside the psychiatric hospital and was just about to knock when he realized that the door was open, and he could go in. Once inside, he thought the place was very familiar, but when he saw one corridor with rooms, he realized he had never been in that place. He went to one of the doors and opened it. There he saw the Greek goddess Nycta, and from obscure clues he learned that she had a mental illness, and depending on the progress of the treatment of her illness he could use some of her powers. He tried to find out what her illness was, but woke up before he could do anything. The next day Zhao came to Lin's school and waited to talk to him. However, he didn't meet him there for a long time, but he stayed near the school waiting anyway. Meanwhile, Lin went to a psychotherapist, described the symptoms of the sick goddess he had seen in his dreams and asked for advice on how to help her. The doctor said she should come to him and they would hospitalize her, but if there was no way to hospitalize her, the medicines he would prescribe could help. Lin thanked him and bought the medicine, although he doubted he would be able to carry it through his sleep. Walking home, Lin met Zhao, who stopped him and began to lead him to the Love Hotel to talk. Lin was embarrassed to go to such a place, but Zhao forcibly took him there. He threw him on the bed and asked him how he related to King Michael of the Angels. In September 1922, a group of people, whose aim was to explore the world beyond the mist, encountered a mythical creature for the first time. It was a flying dragon. Their very existence undermined people's view of the world. In order to maintain stability in the world, they hid their existence. As the Leviathan was the first to be encountered, it was given the number 001. And Michael was first heard of in 1923, and was given the serial number 003. March 1923, then a beam of light struck our Earth and flattened a volcano in North America, and then they learned that there was still God. Because of the thick fog, it took them over a year to reach the volcano. There, in a crater created by God 003, they found a sealed god and assigned him the number 004, fallen angel Lucifer. After a while they noticed that children born after the spreading of the mist had the ability to awaken special powers. They called them forbidden runes. Zhao told them that the power and its magnitude would be diluted along with the spiritual power of the wearer. He also said that what happened yesterday was Michael's energy fluctuations, and that the moment he appeared, Lin's forbidden runes must have awakened. What Lin realized was that it was his ability to sense everything around him. The power of his forbidden runes and the fact that his sight had returned was merely an increase in his power. Zhao told him that they divide it into different types depending on the spiritual power. The first degree of power is so small that it fits in a mug. The second degree is like a river with many tides and streams. The third degree of force fits in a lake. The fourth degree of force is as large as water in a sea. The fifth degree of force is so large that its size can be compared to the cosmos. The sixth degree, by its sheer size, surpasses the understanding of space itself. Lin wondered to which degree he belonged, with the hope that he was in the sixth degree. Zhao saddened him by saying that he was in the first degree and slightly stronger than an ordinary human. He then began to talk about 3 ways to awaken strength. The first is the ordinary way, the second is by using black market goods, and the third is when God gives some of his power in exchange for a person listening to him. Zhao asked Lin what Michael had told him and whose side he was on. I don't know what you mean. He didn't say anything to me. He didn't say anything? You mean you didn't hear his voice? Something doesn't add up. Our guess is Mikhail's either on the neutral or the good side, and if he's lent you his power for a while without saying anything. What are his intentions, anyway? I have no idea what his intentions are, but even so I'm not going to follow any of his orders. I don't want to get involved in this complete mess, so whatever he gives me, I'll give it back to him. If you're satisfied with my answer, I'm leaving. What are you doing? I've told you so much about this world, and you don't want to ask me anything? You're not interested in finding out about me, about mythical creatures, and also bearers of forbidden ruins, to whom have we tried to make contact with a few boys. And our soldiers have been taught special battle lanterns to resist the mythical creatures. It's as if this organization is called the Night's Watch. We are soldiers, our job is to protect the country from gods and monsters. The Night's Watch exists to protect the people from suffering. Isn't such a morbid and infernal organization fit for talented young people? No matter what, they want to protect their own. By joining us, they successfully fulfill that goal. You're also very talented. So if you join us. Yes, the organization is native. I respect you, it's true. But I can't join you. I have family. An aunt and a cousin. But she's so stubborn. Apparently she cries a lot because of the sudden pain in her body. She doesn't want to show it to us, she has to endure it. She worked day and night in the factory for me and her brother. Because of us, 10 years of her life flew by like one. Her health took a turn for the worse. I was always sitting next to her, and all the time she thought I couldn't see or understand anything. She had lived a hard life. She was very tired. And my cousin, very smart. He has a great future ahead of him. So I can't afford to leave this house. I have to study hard and then earn a lot of money to support my family. For 10 years they took care of me and never once gave a reason to want to give up on me, a blind invalid. I set myself a goal. I have to buy a big house for my aunt and cousin. I want my aunt to never have to go back to that damn factory. I don't want her to continue to suffer, to wear herself out. And now that my eyes are finally seared, am I supposed to leave them behind, abandon them? It's my duty to stay by their side. Always. I want so much to take care of my family. I guess I've been thinking about you too easily. Anyway, I appreciate you telling me so much. I'll sign a confidentiality agreement. Well, you've had your chat with the man. And now it's time to keep curing illnesses in my sleep. This world. Ankai, the dark creatures will come again. I will stand before them with thousands of bullets, and to protect them, I will cross my sword against the abyss. I will stain the sky with blood. Unfortunately, I cannot confirm that this is the motto of the Night's Watch. These words may be part of a fictional world, a phrase from a book, film or other source, but without more information it is difficult to determine their exact origin. It's useless. I don't want anything else. This is where today's treatment begins. Mental hospital, studied Greek mythology. But even so, I still have no idea how to make sense of it. According to mythology, Nikia is indeed one of the oldest and most powerful goddesses in all Greek mythology. She has more than 20 children including Thanatos, the goddess of death, the goddess of sleep, Hypnos, the goddess of destiny, the goddess of doom, and so on. Could it be that her delirium started because she misses her children too much? Don't worry, your brother will be back soon. Since she thinks these bottles and cans are her kids. He's just playing around somewhere. What happened to her kids? What exactly is it that's making Nupta so agitated? Thanatos, my baby. Ever since he was a baby, he's been in some kind of trouble. When he comes back, I have lessons to teach him. But, it's been 3,000 years. Why didn't he expect to come back until now? The goddess of the night, who is considered one of the strongest on Olympus, is such a psycho mother. Wait, I think I'm the only one who has figured out exactly how I can help her. Nikta misses her children insanely, she sees literally everything around her. Maybe I can help her. I'm the only one who can help her. Toma, can I reach her heart? Mother, I'm back. Welcome back, my child. 3%. You have fulfilled the terms of your reward. Come on, Thanatos. You have successfully completed the 3% quest and the first condition for receiving your reward. You are randomly granted one of Nuxta's abilities. As expected from the great slaughterhouse of the night, her ability is praiseworthy divine fertility. That means you can use it in battle for sure. The dance of the starry night. Well, it certainly doesn't sound too cool, but at least it's not some kind of fecundity. Here, this is your favorite. That power that transforms my body goes to my soul. My body is the power that completely envelops everything. Wow. And the starry night dance gives me power. I am transfixed by me. Just because my characteristics are 5 times higher than a normal person's. I could already be called Superman. Even. If I reach my normal physical form, the 5 times bonus will allow me to transcend human limits. I finally have the power to protect my family. Thanatos, you know. Your brother missed you very much. Come on, give him a hug. It's okay. I'll be right back. Wow. I feel so rested. This is the first time I've ever slept so soundly. Auntie, why are you going to work so early today? There's a new batch of parts at the factory, so we have a lot of work to do, to clear up. That's it, I'm off. Have breakfast and feed your brother. Auntie, I see. Great. No, great. Great. Big brother, you can see at last. I'm so happy for you. Are you Lin Chi Yi? How did this happen, can you tell me? I just feel like a miracle happened. I got out of hospital yesterday. I was thoroughly treated there. Forgive us, classmate Chi Yi. At that moment, I was so scared that I couldn't think of anything better to do than run away. Liu Yuan, I left you and Jiang Qian in that scary place. Why did she? It's inherent in us humans. After all, we were animals too. It's instinct to save your life. If I were in your place, I think I'd get out of there faster than you. Wouldn't you? You're seriously not angry and you don't blame us? By the way, did those strange people come to see you? Did they make you sign a non-disclosure agreement too? He came to me that night. He scared the hell out of me, but even so, I still signed what he asked. Honestly. I want to join them. Join? Being an ordinary man is boring. But joining a mysterious and powerful organization. Yes, it's every man's dream to fight enemies lurking in human society. That you think it's cool is too reckless. You could die on your first mission. And your parents won't even be able to reach your body. You will leave this world and nothing will be left of you. I'm back. You, how did you find my house? I threw this thing in your pocket. That's how I found you. I told you I'm not joining you. Do you mind if I smoke a cigarette? I do mind. My father died when I was 6. My mother worked 2 jobs, but she didn't have enough time or attention for me and my upbringing. I only got straight A's. It's not hard to get straight A's in the countryside, but even in spite of my success at school, I still dreamed of becoming a soldier. When I left home, my mother just looked at me, didn't say anything, just stood there and watched. It was hard for me to decide to leave. I wanted to go with her, but when I was determined enough to leave, I put an end to it. I was obliged to leave home in order to achieve military successes. Receiving the Distinguished Service Medal and being dressed in a nice military uniform, I would return home. I got into the Special Forces and my promotion grew at an alarming rate. I was posted to the Night Watch unit because my forte was close combat. My mother was too tired to work. She had compromised her health because of it. So after my discharge from the Special Forces, I wanted to stay in the village as a cadre to help her with everything. Except, I joined the Night Watch, so I can't stay with her to ensure a decent old age. But you're different. You're much smarter than I am. More sensible. You have your own dreams, your own ideas, and you want to stay with your family to take care of them. I'm glad you've chosen this path for yourself. Live your life in peace, prospering, so to speak. And leave the care of the world to our organization. Thank you for your offer and concern for your aunt. However, as a virtual agent, I cannot accept physical items or money. My aunt doesn't want it. She won't accept them either. My sight has returned to me, so I now have the opportunity to feed my family on my own. Damn, what a stubborn young man you are. Well, that's it, then. I have to go. No need to see you off. I wish you a bright future. I wish you a most worthy deed. Auntie, at last. You're back, let's talk. Yes, I know. An ordinary man, a janitor. If the dark beings come, I will stand before thousands of men and cross my sword against the abyss to protect them and stain the sky with blood. Zhao is an emergency. What? The Phantom King will be here soon? We've stumbled upon the Phantom King's blood. Judging by the location, he's either headed for the old city or the center of the new one. I'm in the old city right now, how do I find it? Hongin has already headed your way. She'll help you. Your job is to evacuate the old city. Hongin? Isn't she hurt? What's with the captain? The captain is heading towards the center with a large force, but the center is overcrowded. We can't evacuate everyone completely. Once the Ghost King appears in the center of the city, the consequences will be catastrophic. I see. You want to send the Ghost King to the old town and fight him there, just because old Zhao lives here. Calm down. I didn't tell you we'd do that to the old town. If the Phantom King really is heading your way, don't engage him directly. He's out of your league. But a circular ambush can be unpredictable. Catching him in a trap will be difficult, especially for a ghostly king on the Fork of the Ogles. They're sure to panic and make a mess, so you need to think things through in a smart way so that the king doesn't get dodged. The best strategy might be to evacuate to a bunker or tunnel. All right, that's it. What do I need to do? Evacuate the people of the old city to safety as soon as possible? I'm back here again. By my calculations, this family was just about to sit down for dinner. I hit the jackpot. It's the worst jackpot I've ever hit. Report, Watcher Zhao Kongcheng has spotted the Ghost King in the old town. Stop. Our squad is on its way to the old town right now. Hong Ying and the others will be there soon. Argue it for a few minutes. Old Zhao, don't fight him directly, tuck him into the trap we negotiated. Ring airspace. Unsuspecting airspace. There's no binding effect if there's no one in it. The Ghostface King will not be trapped for a moment. I repeat, do not fight him under any circumstances. It's too late to evacuate anyone. There are casualties every day. We night watchmen are powerless. We cannot prevent all death and suffering. We can't rub out our squad seasoned slain because of the Ghost King. No. Old Zhao, are you listening to me? Calm down, there's no need for all this impulsiveness. Sinan, you remember the oath we took? I may not have thousands of people behind me, but I have this boy's whole world behind me. His everything. A forbidden ruin. Circular airspace. Today is a great day. Eat more, young man. Don't save your aunt's money. Chi Yi? Yes, I got it, auntie. Jin, you need to eat a lot. You're growing up, so you should eat as much as possible. And Jin? What? When did you kids get so absent-minded? Baby, don't you like your aunt's snatch anymore? No, I don't. I'm gonna eat it right now. So where's the little black bastard gone? He's at the window. What's so black? Did you see something in the street? Auntie, I have to go somewhere urgently. I didn't think you'd come on to me. Capitus gonna be pissed. I didn't think you could hurt me that badly. I guess you get stronger when it rains. And if you can hurt me that badly, then your strength has definitely increased. I don't know what to do. There's only so much I can do. It's not working. My sword got scratched on it. Why do we have such a power differential? Yeah, not bad for some mystical creature. A what? Forbidden Ruin? Forbidden Ruin 176. The Forbidden Ruin allows you to deceive the perception of beings who are a kingdom below or equal to its host. By altering the concept of space. If this keeps up, I'll be dead in here for sure. Inhale. Stabilized. Where is he attacking from? You may have a Forbidden Ruin, but it's no match for a human one. If your ruin were any more stable, I'd be dead by now. Too bad it's raining today. You may deceive me, but the rain won't cheat me. Consider yourself at an advantage. If I had a Forbidden Ruin, too, you'd die 800 fucking times. Fucking stuck. Zhao Kongcheng. Hey. This crest is the symbol of the Night's Watch, the key to the final, deadly move. The emblem contains the Phantom Spirit Guide. It burns away all a person's life force in exchange for a significant improvement in spiritual power. Even if you have no Forbidden Ruins, this thing will make your body awaken to it. But using it will mean the end of your life, so you can only use it as a very last resort. The time has come. Zhao Kongchen, I know you're in there. Open the fucking space and let me in. Hey, asshole. I'm sure you didn't finish your dinner. So why did you run outside, or the other way around? Get out of here. What the hell do you care? Are you making yourself out to be my father? I know you've locked yourself in with the asshole king. So let me in. I'll help you. Yes, do you even know what you're talking about? This is not some priest, but the Ghost King himself. 2 kingdoms higher than you, asshole. You're just a high school boy. You're going to die a senseless death? And besides, aren't you afraid of death? Oh, yes, you're afraid of dying. So why do you want to condemn yourself to death right now? Go home. To your family. Tell them to cook for me, too, and leave that bastard to me. Mark my words, as long as I, Zhao Kongcheng, am alive, that bastard will never hurt your family. You're right, I don't want to die. But I owe it to you. Do you want to be my hero? You want me to let you die like this? Like hell you do. Didn't you tell us to cook for you, too? You want some noodles, huh? Then let me in. We'll fuck the bastard up together, and then we'll come back and treat you to a memorable dinner. Huh, don't try. Your efforts are in vain. You can't even break through the circular airspace. If you can't deal with such a simple thing, do you think you have the strength for a Ghost King? If that's how you want to get in, there's only one way in. Wait for me to die. Gone? That's right. Good boy. Go home and eat your fill. Zhao Kongcheng's message to all Night Watch. I'll use the crest. How long I've waited for this. The forbidden ruin of the shimmering moon. I knew it. I am Zhao Kongcheng, the fucking genius. Time is running out. I need to deal with you as soon as possible. Prepare to die. The forbidden ruin of the shimmering moon. Well. Now it's fair. You and I have one hand left. Shit. I don't feel. I'm not dead yet. I can still use the forbidden ruin. So I have to fight. The Phantom King is still alive. I have no right to die. I can't fall face down. How did you get in? I stared into the pillar and it opened on its own. I was lucky that as darkness fell, the Starry Night Dancer skill activated itself just in time. Only then was my Seraphim divine power able to break through the circular airspace. Though I had wasted some effort, I got in. Anyway, I came here to help you. Don't talk nonsense. Stay behind me, but I can help you. These injuries. You. The sword. I must reactivate it. I'm about to make my final cut. After that, there's nothing you can do to help me. Young man, if you respect me, take care of my sword. This sword. It's very beautiful. The forbidden ruin of the shimmering moon. Your body. You're going to die. It's all right, I understand. Heh. I have no regrets. After all, my dream came true. I felt the power of owning the forbidden ruin I never had. I did it. Even as I stood before the inevitable abyss, I stained the sky with the blood of the enemy. Did you see? Did you see? I took that bastard out in one fell swoop. Hell, yeah, even mine saw the Ghost King. The whole captain can't beat him. And here I am, taking him down with one punch. After such a major accomplishment. If I manage to survive, I'll definitely be leader of the Vanguard squad, hee. You will. It's definitely going to happen. Zhao Kongcheng, you haven't become the leader of the squad yet, so you have no right to die. My sword. Is it beautiful? My skills. Are you pleased with? Ah, the sword is beautiful. It's amazing, your skills are amazing. I want to be like you. You were wrong. I've never been afraid of death. For as long as I can remember. A blind child imprisoned in a mental hospital. Would one be afraid of death? Every time darkness fell. I tried to kill myself. Many times. A lot. But the light always saved me. Again and again. And that light that saved me. My family. I owe you my life. My fate is in your hands. You protected my world. What can I do for you? How can I repay you? Starry Night Dancer. You've got a boiling muzzle. Damn, we got a big difference in the kingdoms, don't we? If I can't kill you in one blow, I'll cut you 100 dozen times. I'll cut you until your soul goes to the afterlife. Shit, I almost died. My physical and spiritual strength is at its limit. If Zhao Kongcheng hadn't exhausted the king in the previous battle, I wouldn't even have a chance against this giant. I feel guilty towards 3 people in my life, my aunt, who spent 10 years for me, my cousin, whom I humiliated for the same 10 years. And to you, my friend. You protected my family at the cost of your life. You saved my entire MI in exchange for your life. Now to repay you, I will spend 10 years protecting the world you fought for, our planet. Found it. God. Junior Lin Chi brought back Zhao Kongcheng, leader of the squad. Zhao Kongcheng. Mum, let's eat. I can't. Your brother just ran off during the meal. Why hasn't he come back yet? Nothing happened to him, did it? Don't worry, my brother will be fine. He's all grown up now, isn't he? I bet he's doing well in his business. I hope all is well. Ida, he's all grown up. Are you the man old Zhao was looking for, Agent Seraphim Lin Chi Yi? That's right. I've already made it abundantly clear that Zhao Kongcheng discovered Ring Air and fought the Ghost King all by himself until the end. He died but took the Ghost King with him to his grave. Wu Xiangnan, deputy captain of the 136th Night Watch unit in Cannon City, then how did you manage to get inside the Ring airspace? I looked at it with a fierce look and it let me in on its own. And can you describe in detail the battle that took place? How exactly did Zhao Kongcheng kill the Ghost King? He swung his sword, carving a crescent in the air. And that's how he chopped off the Ghost King's head. A crescent moon? Ah. That shimmering moonlight. Old Zhao used the power of ghosts and spirits to activate his own forbidden ruin. Sequence 083 Shimmering Moon? Very risky to use this forbidden ruin. Who would have thought Uncle Zhao would awaken the forbidden ruin at such a desperate moment? It seems to me that even after he had broken through the ruin, he couldn't believe it himself. Ah, if I had such a ruin, he would be so proud of it, like his only and beloved child. He would cherish and idolize it. All right, let's not stand around like fools. Everyone introduce yourselves. My name is Wu Xiannan and I'm the deputy captain of the 136th Night Watch detachment in Cannon City. The guy behind me is Captain Chen Mui, vanguard of the 136th Night Watch Squadron Hong Ying, vanguard of the 186th Night Watch Squadron, assistant to Hong Ying, Wen Chimo. I'm in charge of combat support as a combat medic, 11 Xiaonan, long-range fire support Len Xian. The young man isn't everything. The Ghost King's corpse had burn marks on its face that we never found out about. Okay, questions about Zhao Kongcheng are over. It's time to talk about you Lin Chi Yi. Why do you want to join the Night Watch? To repay Zhao Kongcheng for what he did for me. Before he died, I made him a promise. I will join the Night's Watch for exactly 10 years and then leave. There's something you don't understand. The Night Watchman isn't some kind of community volunteer. Once someone joins us, they can't leave us and stay with us until the end. And what you're saying now about leaving, it depends on your own abilities. Well, how about this, if in 10 years I am not strong enough to leave, it will already be my problem. Training will begin 1 month after acceptance. The Night Watch is a paramilitary organization. Before the newcomers officially join us, they must take part in a mandatory training camp. They learn martial arts, firearms, tactics, wielding forbidden ruins and other skills. Until training begins, you will only be considered a temporary member of the Watch. Consider yourself a trainee. That's what I want. By the way, we don't pay for room and board for trainees. You don't? And where do you suggest I live for the next month? Don't worry. You can crash at my place. I have a big house. There's plenty of room for two. Brother Chi Yi, don't worry, you're almost a member of our squad. So Sis will take care of you. Also, RUNO, there's also NKA Hong Ying. Chi Yi. I have a strange request. Can I go with you? To live at Hong Ying's house? I've wanted to live with the Night's Watch together for a long time. Ha ha ha, just kidding, don't be so nervous. I'm just saying, if you have questions, ask them now. He seemed like a very serious man to me. Then, why are there only 6 of you? Wow, you catch everything on the fly. You're so quick to notice such insignificant details. Before I came to you in person, I thought the Night's Watch was some kind of large organization. I thought you had planes, tanks parked at a forbidden military base. You're wrong. The Night's Watch doesn't belong to the army. You thought we were a militarized and subordinate organization. Yes, that wouldn't be a bad thing, but there's one huge disadvantage to such a cumbersome organization. It's poor mobilization. Let me give you an example. Imagine right now a mythical creature has appeared in the city of Cannon. After local confirmation, a message about it is sent to the military base, to the general staff, and they have to figure out who to send on this mission. And it takes at least 2 days to prepare and send out on this mission. During that time, a lot of people could die. Exactly. That's why the best solution for our organization was to place several squads of night watchmen in each town. When traces of mythical creatures are detected in any given town, the team stationed there responds directly and deals with them. Our 136th squad is stationed in the city of Cannon. Now I see why you have a clear division of labor in your squad. Everyone is responsible for what they are good at and what they actually do. In addition to the squads stationed in each city, there are 4 special forces squads across the country, carrying out different tasks ranging from combat support to special operations. Each squad member has its own unique and distinctive strengths, and when they are combined, they form an ideal combat unit capable of dealing effectively with any challenge. If a deployed Night Watch squad encounters insurmountable difficulties, it immediately sends a message to the town and a special operations squad arrives to help. In addition to the units deployed in each city, there are 4 special forces units across the country, ready to come to the rescue in the event of situations that the local Night Watch units are unable to deal with. However, all Night Watch members have their own personal limits and limitations. Human limits. Yes, they are called human ceilings. This means that each member of the squad has certain limits to their abilities. Or perhaps you meant something else? No, that was what I meant. It was just surprising to hear of such limits. But it must be normal here. I wonder what that boundary is. My house is a bit big. A little big. A little big. A little big. A little? It's huge. I'm coming. Brother Chi-Yi decided to come to me after all? Millimeter. Sorry, I didn't have time to clean up today. So it might be a little messy. But never mind. Take a pair of slippers and try them. Oh. It suits you. Zishaonan, Night Watchman, Chi-Yi decided to come after all? Are you here too? Xiaonan doesn't like living in the hostel, so I let her stay with me for a while. Come on, I'll show you your room. Where are your parents? Is that even okay? Am I disturbing them? And 5 years ago, they went missing in a fog. Here, this is your room. I've already prepared everything for you. Blue terry towels, soap and water in the bathroom, ready to go. Just don't mix it up with mine. By the way, if you need me or Xiaonan, before you go into our rooms, knock on the door. It's just in case. If I find out you've got any funny intentions about us, I'll get you, just like that. Don't forget, I'm the main unit of our squad. I'm the vanguard. Look at that biceps, huh? Scary, isn't it? I got it. By the way, Sister Hong In. Do you have paper and pen? Xiao Qi, you're back. Hello, Mrs. Wang Fang. Lin Chi-Yi's guardian? Who are you? I see, you represent the Cannon military and political department in charge of recruiting recruits for the army. How can I help you? Recruitment? Conscription? But why would your nephew decide to join the army? He didn't tell me about it. No, my brother mentioned it. When we were alone, he said that his main dream was to join the army, but because he had no eyesight, he refused. But this is too sudden. He just got his sight back, and all of a sudden, suddenly he's got it all back. Don't worry, we've done a detailed examination of Lin Chi-Yi's eyes. There are no more problems. What a relief. Madam, this is a subsidy for Lin Chi-Yi to join the army. Please accept it. But isn't it too much? You're right, but a new policy has been introduced relatively recently to improve the soldiers' welfare. So Lin Chi-Yi is also on that list and is entitled to more special subsidies. Special subsidies? Is he involved in something dangerous? Where is his military unit located? Is it far from here? Is it cold? Is he sure he's safe? Maybe he's not used to the military sphere? How long will it take? Can I call him? Yes, yes and yes. All right, miss, we should get going. Ah. I'm exhausted from talking to her. More exhausted than I was from the mission. At least she believed me and accepted the money. That's great. That was your annual salary you asked for in advance. Are you sure you should have given her every single yuan? Yes, I'm sure. I've been saving for a while myself. That's enough for me for a year. If that's the case, I'm safe. Come to the office for dinner. Isn't room and board included in the price? But that's for meals we cook ourselves. Hello, Auntie. Babe. I'm sorry if I didn't warn you about my decision to become a soldier. I thought it best not to discuss the subject with you so as not to disturb you. But I'm always here for you and ready to answer any questions. We'll talk about it in person when we see each other. I'm sorry if I've upset you. I'm sorry, Auntie. I was wrong. It's you. You came to see me. My child. And now it's time to take your medicine. Remember, when you finish your medication, all your children will come back. My child, something seems to be bothering you? Yes. Then I'll give you a gift. Yes, I will give you my bracelet. If you wear it, I'll always be there for you. My bracelet. Where is my bracelet? Oh, I remember. I lost my bracelet. You lost it? Some god won it from you? No, not a god. She's just like you. You mean I had someone else here? And took your bracelet? Is it possible that I'm not the only visitor here? Could it be there were other people here 5 years ago? I remember what she looked like. A girl between 12 and 18 years old with long black hair. Very pretty. There's a strange pattern here. How exactly did she win the bracelet from you? Was it some kind of bet? She said she wanted to test her fate. If she lost, she'd give me my baby. And if I lost, I'd give her my bracelet. The little girl defeated the mighty goddess of night who created the whole world. Do you remember anything about her? Even a name? I think so. Gee. After that girl was here, there might be some clues. Where the hell do I find this? This is it. Some kind of letter. Disgusting handwriting. Of course, in this psychiatric hospital, hides many more secrets. Is there a cage in here? But there's no one here? Just an abandoned cell? Is it a ghost king? What the hell is he doing here? It seems that in addition to mysterious patients, this asylum has the ability to capture other people's souls. As long as the mythical creatures I've killed are kept here, they can be taken as assistants to the hospital. Then can the mythical beings mentioned here be gods in their place? If I kill a true god, I can make him work for me. The next day, I met a monster. A monster? Some kind of mythical creature? I'm afraid I'm going to tell you everything. You won't believe it. Don't worry, I promise I'll believe anything you say. Then let me tell you. It's about my husband. All the time we've been together, I've been sure of him, but don't worry, slow down. The other day we were walking around town, he was holding my hand, we were talking. Everything was fine. And the week before, he hadn't shown any signs. Everything's fine, Grandma. But then, this seductress came around the corner. And he fell for her tits. Well, don't worry, our firm will take care of everything. Have a nice day. Oh, what was that? Just a routine at work. Chi-yi, you're new, so you probably don't know, but there are only about 5 to 6 real mystery incidents a year in Cannon City. On normal days, we help ordinary citizens deal with everyday issues. So not only can you find an occupation that suits you, but you can also make some extra money doing stuff. And if you're lucky, someday you'll stumble across this very mystical incident. That's great, isn't it? So you usually do investigations like the old man and the old lady's extramarital affairs? For the most part, yes. I see. By the way, the captain asked you to go to his martial arts training ground. Good. Did you come? Yes. You won't be given a sword, cloak or crest, but that's until you get into full training. You can already use it. This is the sword of Lao Jiao. You're one of the few he's got his eye on. I think he'd want you to be his sword. The training camp is over a month away. In that time, I'll teach you a few things. Just so I don't have to apologize for you. From now on, every morning I will instruct you in the use of the sword, in the afternoon you will learn the forbidden ruins with Wenkimo, and in the evening the remaining weapons with Long Xian. Let us begin. Captain, we have real swords. It doesn't matter what we train with. Then I'll try to be more careful. Get up. Try again. Stand up. More. More. You seem to have a talent. During my first training, the captain beat me like a responsible infant. The captain's skills are truly terrifying. His strokes are both fast and heavy, but this is the most routine training. So why was he beating me so hard? Such heavy blows. I didn't feel an ounce of mercy from him. Yes, now the only one who can at least minimally stand up to the captain is Hong Ying. And how did Zhao Kongcheng do? Zhao Kongcheng. He was on par with the captain. Just as I thought. Don't worry, the small abrasions all over your body will go away when you get some sleep. And tomorrow, you'll be out with a bang and you'll get beat up again. PE class is over. Time to start discussing your forbidden ruin. How much of your mortal god realm is developed? In short, I sense everything within a 20-meter radius. There you go. Well, let me explain to you exactly what a forbidden ruin is. The division into levels of danger for people, the higher the sequence, the more dangerous the person is. Anything beyond 600 is classified as a harmless forbidden ruin. There's no use for it, you can kill a fly at most with it. Sequences 400 to 599 are classified as low-risk forbidden ruin. It's possible to kill someone at this level, but more often than not you'll end up with severe injuries. Ruins numbered 200 to 399 can be called dangerous forbidden ruins. They are a large-scale threat to human society. They can already be used to fight mythical creatures. High-risk forbidden ruins represent a sequence of 90 to 199. They have a very high combat effectiveness, with a probability of 1 man in a million. Our captain has been to such ruins once before. Forbidden upper high-risk ruins include anyone below level 89. At this level there is large-scale mortality, as well as unusual special abilities. Forbidden ruins are higher and go beyond the Ayudian category. They are capable of destroying a city on their own. If Zhao Kongcheng had awakened 083, the shimmering moon, perhaps it would become incredibly powerful. My forbidden ruin is the kingdom of the mortal god. Sequence 003. Do not rejoice before your time. Ruin 003 is Blazing Angel's forbidden ruin, not yours, Lin Chi Yi. You're a newcomer, not really dead. So such a powerful ruin in your hands is good for nothing. Are you saying that I'm not fully proficient? Even though you can use some of that flaming angel's immense power, the power of your forbidden ruin is far greater than what you currently possess. Your current abilities are focused on perception and prediction. In other words, either the flaming angel has only given you a small fraction of his power, or you also have his other powers and you just can't feel them and master them in any way. And this part of your training is for you to gradually tap into your body's abilities. There are 39,000 miniature air pistols here. They're capable of firing 39,000 rubber bullets per second. You need to use your perception and dynamic vision to avoid all the bullets. Keep in mind that you're at a low level of the realm, so we'll start with 50 bullets per second. Wait. Why am I getting an ominous feeling? Like this. Fucking. My feet are glued to the ground, they're what? It makes me think I shouldn't be here at all. What am I supposed to do? Danger will always follow you. Where there's fear, there's also fear. In any real battle, there's no place where you have to fight and you don't feel fear at all. Sound the horn, start training. Stop. I'm going. So that's the point of this training. Why do I get beaten up at every training session? Liafei, why are you so slow? Move your hooves. Did you see a murderer or something? Why are you acting like a lost child? You've been suspicious all day. You're acting too cautious. You're obviously afraid of something. Where's your courage gone? Can't tell you. What do you mean? I said I won't tell you anything. Let's not talk about it. Now what is it? I forgot my key. You guys go on ahead without me. I'll catch up with you. It's getting weirder and weirder by the hour. Is someone coming? Is it the principal and the math teacher? Principal, come here. Why did you come to class? Really? I'm ready to listen to you. There's something I've been wanting to say to you for a long time, principal. Fuck it. A teacher has a crush on the principal? He's in his 50s. He's already got bald spots on the top of his head. God. What kind of taste does she have? So? Actually, I've always wanted to eat you. The gun is the material embodiment of human genius. For beginners, so to speak, a gun is a kind of life insurance. While it may not do serious damage to high-level mythical creatures, it is more effective against low-level ones than edged weapons. Show me what you can do. Come on. Move. Calm down and take apart every piece. Then put it back together. 3 shots to 1 point. Finish. How do you like my skills? The distance from the acceptable edge of the target is long. I'll tell you this. A blind man would have done better. Actually, it wasn't that long ago that I was blind. Another day of training went by. I fought the captain again. And he beat me again. Oh, gun training got me back on track. Even though I enjoyed it, I don't have any talent for guns. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait. What are you standing there? Go to dinner. All right. I got it first. No, I was first. That piece of meat is mine. Chia, it's 7 p.m. dinner time. Even if you're not used to eating at this time, at least have some stewed oboes. Uncle Chen made it. You're exotic. Let go. I'd lose my arm if I didn't let go. Let go. No. Let go. Long Xian, next time don't pull out your weapon at the table. It's about time. The day has passed. Lie down on the bed and feel the satisfaction. Don't hold on to your sword so stubbornly. Otherwise you won't have time to regroup and you won't be able to come out sharply from attack to defense. Don't hold on to the sword so stubbornly, huh? All right. I'll try again. I clearly overdid it last night. Chi-yi. You came at last. We have a problem. What happened? Is it to do with mythical creatures? Yes. It's very serious. There's been a report of a mythical creature and its location. Cannon Secondary School number 2. There again? Lia Fei? Lin Chi, what are you doing here? I'm a temporary member of the Night Watch. Who do you think you're talking to? You're a probationary trainee. So you can't be here. We'll talk about your relationship later. Let's deal with the immediate problem first. Oh, right. I beg your pardon. In short, you remembered that you forgot something and went back to school to get it. And then you accidentally saw the teacher eating the principal? That's right. Isn't it? On the way home yesterday, I remembered that I forgot to pick up my English homework and went back to school. And you're delicious. I was so scared, I was completely dumbfounded and didn't dare move until they left. But even after they left, I hid in the classroom until dawn. And after that I went straight to you, spit it out, and it was just like nothing ever happened. You did the right thing. This mythical creature disguises itself well as a human. It is also capable of assimilating others into itself. It is likely that a diffuse infection has spread throughout the school because of this mythical creature. In the world of lower mythical creatures, there is a special ability known as assimilation. This ability is one of the most difficult, but also the most dangerous. Unless action is taken, the number of victims absorbed by these creatures will grow exponentially. Consequently, the damage they cause will also be significant. And if they have a disguise. Moreover, the mythical creatures possess an intelligence that is as good as that of humans. This makes the situation critical. It's a very dangerous combination. Such mythical creatures have the ability to analyze their victims, mimic their behavior, and even communicate with others in such a way that no one will notice the difference. So we must prepare for the worst. The worst? The worst outcome, you say? I'm assuming the whole second school is infected. Yes, and the infection has definitely spread outside the school by now. Have you ever considered that all the teachers in your school, your classmates, are assimilated by a mythical creature? Or even, you soon become part of that monster? All right, Sinan, stop scaring him. If that were the case, there would have been a disaster Raven a long time ago. And since it hasn't shown up yet, it means the situation hasn't reached the point of no return. No, that's impossible. I can't be a monster. What kind of calamity crow is that? Well, from the title, it's clearly a crow. And distress is because it caws loudly at the whole town if it senses an impending catastrophe. Well, Sinan, we've been dealt a hand. What are your plans? Alia has begun its imperative to find the true body of the mythical creature. And at the same time find out exactly how many people have been infected by it. So I suggest we split into two groups. The first group will leverage the victim's social connections to get clues and find out other informed people. The second group will infiltrate the school and should be on the trail of the monster's true body. All right, double check. If you're already unofficially infiltrating the school, you should at least conform to the high school's image. Chi-e, why is your school uniform so ugly? It doesn't fit my size. Well, a girl's uniform would suit you better. But I don't have one. So I'm sorry. Take it. But your fighting skills leave a lot to be desired. What if I hurt someone? The point of a gun is not just to kill. Hurry up. Here I come. If there's anything you need, please call us on your headset. Okay. Hong Ying and 11 Xiaonan went to the teacher's lounge. There they'll ask the principal or the teachers. Qi mingled with the class and made contact with Luke Xiaoyan. If we want to identify the person in whose body the true mythical creature is hidden, it is very important to control one's sensory abilities and analyze literally all the students. The very fact of how far the infection has spread will determine our next steps. Be careful, we don't know how many there are or what they are capable of. Everyone must remember their group's primary objective. Get a handle on it and then we'll move on to the next part. 1 2 3 4 and that's not all. Lin Chi-yi, how's it going? Not so good, only there are more than 6 on this floor. 6? Our target is a mythical creature. The students are its victims. It's not their fault they've been assimilated, so we should treat them with as little harm as possible. If there's only about 6 of them on the ground floor, counting the whole school, hell, how many could there possibly be? And they're ha ha ha. All right, let's stick to the plan and keep watching. Don't draw too much attention to yourselves. On that ordinary day, a fight broke out in the street. The quarrel that ensued drew the 2 young men into it, and the tension between them only escalated. One of the lads, expressing his hotness, exclaimed with indignation, "You rude bastard! How dare you mess with me, the son of a noble family?" The one against whom the accusations were leveled was not left in debt and proudly replied, "Stand up. This is not over yet. Even if you poured drink on me or insulted me, I will tolerate it, as pointing a sword at you is akin to oppressing someone who is weaker." But many of the elders who sacrificed themselves 100 years ago to restore the blood demon did not fight to endure such outrages. So, the price for devaluing these people. At that moment the lad swung his sword, preparing to apply his strength and lesson. However, as if it was all just a dream, the lad suddenly woke up in a cafe. His dream had blurred, leaving only a faint sense of discontent. Someone next to him shouted indignantly, "Hey, can you be more careful? You spilled tea on my clothes. Who reads books during an official reception anyway?" The boy looked around in embarrassment at what had happened and found himself surrounded by ordinary reality. But for some reason he had the idea that the fight that had occurred and the events from the book he had recently read were mixed into one. Why were pledge welcome parties so tedious? It's not an easy task to sneak out of here either, he thought, wiping his t-shirt soaked in water. Ouch! It's so cold. I don't envy them much, though. I rotted in Noriangjin for 10 years and barely made it as a civil servant. But compared to the lives of these newcomers, mine seems insignificant. The guy, trying to get his bearings in time, asked those around him, "By the way, what time is it?" Then, deciding to forget all the confused history and go back to reading his book, he added, "No more worrying, I'd better finish it." A very entertaining book. Meanwhile, in a world where the fight was heating up, the protagonist, determined, turned to his adversary, "Oh. You're back. We're going for a second round. Will you join us, right?" The tired lad returned home, feeling tired in every cell of his body, and lay down on his bed. However, his mind was still preoccupied with the mysterious events that had happened to him. He could not come to terms with the fact that suddenly his reality and fantasy were beginning to merge. Suddenly a book he had been reading earlier caught his attention. He opened it, hoping to find answers to his questions. However, the pages were blank, as if devoid of any print or text. Nathan was stunned and disappointed. What? Why are the pages blank? How can this be? Where are the letters, then? Not printed? In fury and irritation he threw the book on the floor, uttering foul words. What a bunch of people. Damn. Right at the point where they say whether the main character dies or stays alive. Whatever. I'm not going to read any more. Today is clearly not my day. Why is the narration so cut off? Nervous as hell. I won't read this author's work again. He glanced out the window and noticed that the sun seemed brighter and more dazzling than usual. The noise from the street became louder and he felt confused. That's it, why is the light so bright? Since when did the sun scorch my windows so much? And what was that noise I heard? Whose voice was that in the house where I live? Before he could realize what was happening, he was suddenly hit hard in the face. He flew backwards, feeling a sharp pain and a sensation that his head was about to explode. What is this memory? What are they? He thought, pressing his hand to his painful chin. But they're not mine. Arrogant spoilt boy. Yargul Muyang, from a noble family, a Yargul of Shandong province. Now he is about to take the fight and will be beaten by a Bakari Jin. Fear gripped the boy, realizing that it was as if he had stepped into the role of the hero of his book. He stretched out his hand to the sky, appealing to unseen forces. Wait, don't tell me this isn't the end. That I have taken possession of a martial arts master. Isn't this the point at which Yargul Muyang dies? No, he survives. However, the leg will be mutilated, but the Bakari Jin doesn't care about that. Feeling the terrible tension and danger, the lad realized that such a fate awaits him too. At this rate I will become an invalid, the thought flashed through his mind before everything plunged into darkness. What should I do? I have to think things over calmly. The boy did find himself in a novel, and by his own logic, he should be moving through the plot. Since the guy ended up in the Muyang's body, he understood what kind of person he was now, a person who didn't care about the rules. My opponent, on the other hand, is an orphan who carries the family name of the Bakari family, even though he is not the heir to it. For him, his parents are the law, but he can't reconcile with that. The boy thinks to himself, wait. Am I going to die in this case? No, I will survive, but I will lose my leg. Stop, pronounced the boy. He couldn't allow Muyang to be crippled. A thought occurred to the guy and he decided we should apologize. The guy got down on his knees. What are you doing? Asked Beck, since the guy had moved in a novel based on laws, so that should work. He decided to apologize very sincerely so he wouldn't lose his left leg. As you can see, the beatings gave me back my sobriety, my sanity. It's the best way a guy could come up with. But will he be able to react the way I'd like to? But, the guy wondered. 1 minute you're drunk and the next you're apologizing? Bak Rin Jin replied. He put the sword away. What a relief. I have to think of something to say to get away with it. The boy figured out how to reply. I realized my mistake. I made fun of your rule without knowing it myself. I understand, a few words won't make up for it. Now I need to demonstrate my sincerity. For the sake of forgiveness, the lad was willing to give his left arm. Damn. Thought the guy he's exactly like in the novel. Why doesn't he do anything? What kind of douchebag can exist harmoniously in the world? B. Li Jin put his hand down and helped the Yargul up. Good. I lacked restraint. I should have considered that you were drunk. Since you're hurt, I'll walk you home. Why was he so calm? Was it all so easy to resolve? It's a good thing he has that kind of temper. Then Mu Lang would have said goodbye to his left leg. What a Muyang, said the stranger. Who the hell was that all of a sudden? Someone close enough to be familiar with the Muyang. Look, if your apology was sincere, shouldn't you have offered the right hand you're holding the sword with instead of the left? Who do you think you are, Muyang? Asked Bak. Do we know each other? The stranger introduced himself. I am Huanbo Sung of the Huanbo family. You must have heard about my family's situation in Shandong province. Muyang was surprised. Huangbo Sung? Is this the guy who pretended to support Muyang while actually falling under the influence himself? So you're the one to talk about what kind of hand I should have offered. Damn. I never thought I'd see you here. I don't care if you lied. But so it turns out you're renouncing your family's honor to save your own skin? Said Huanbo Sung. Isn't he playing around? Well, though he acted like a mouse in front of a cat in the novel too. Sincerity is a difficult thing. It's hard to prove. No, it's not. If you're really honest, you'll have no problem losing your right hand. Muyang wasn't prepared for that answer. Damn your truth. You're so enthusiastic. I bet he's content to corner me. Mu Young was ready to get down on his knees because it's more important to him how the people he's apologizing to see him. What's true? The decision is yours, young warrior back. If you like, anytime I can. Suck it. What do you say now? Mu Young. I thought we knew each other well, but that seems to have been a misconception. Strangely, there was no such situation in the novel. He just watched and didn't get into the situation. Had the story changed? Beck shouted rather shakily. I received a sincere apology, so I have no intention of continuing the quarrel. Ouch! Mu Jiang's heart ached sharply. I'd better get out of here soon. Man, are you getting worse? I'll take him home. In Roman, Mu Yang had his leg cut off and was sent home with Huan Bo Sung. The situation is different now, but nothing much has changed. Yunyomo help him. Yunyomo, nicknamed Thousand Flaming Swords, is the main character who raided the Central Plain, along with Bekarai Jin. A very entertaining situation from the point of view of someone who knows the context. Get well soon, Mu Yang. From now on, the boy will have to live in the body of Yargle Mu Yang. However, he is firmly against death after being used as a supporting character, and he won't come out of this life either. He was approached by a man named Yunyomo. Was that Bakarai Jin? How did you meet him? Mu Yang had already forgotten that there was a man next to him, still he would have to play along with Yunyomo. Our relationship didn't work out from the beginning. I was about to meet a girl for a drink when he suddenly appeared out of nowhere and started a fight. Actually, in reality, Yargle Mu Yang was abusing his power and insulting the feelings of Bakarai Jin, who happened to be watching him. You must have been furious, asked Yunyo. Sitting around having fun, and this brat forced you to take a knee. Even in the novel, he tried to send Bakarai Jin, but instead he choked to death himself, from the poison. The plot may have changed because of the main character Mu Yang's actions, but overall it's the same as it was should he still influence them. Mu Yang asked to have guards put up for him, a man of 1,000 flaming swords. They seem to be the same age as Mu Yang. Mu Yang went to his home, and this is where I live. He was presented with images of memories. His relatives had left home to find the meaning of life. Some had left their martial arts manuals, some had left their belongings, some had sold their estates, and all they had left was a cow. The boy passed out. He woke up in his room, his wounds already dressed. As it turns out, the boy's appearance is not that of a Yargle Mu Yang as described in the novel, but of his own. His mother and father try to make the boy realize that he has to be more decisive. The father was even ready to punish his son for his behavior. Even in such a situation, is the boy calm because he is at home? He needs to remember and think over the contents of the novel. The father walks into the room in a rage. In the plot of the novel, 10 years later, the devilish followers of the blood demon cult, who are hidden from our world, will unite. The Ice Palace of the North Sea, the Palace of the Potala, and even the Ghost Palace, rebuilt by nomads, they will target the Central Plains, and the Emperor. Some of their forces will come from the east of Murim and begin their great conspiracy. The destruction of Murim. Their first target will be the extermination of all sects and noble families, one of them, the Yargle family. Now the lad would just have to live in peace. Radianish, yelled the father, why the hell did you get hurt like that? Yargle's parents scolding their son is something impossible. If the boy tells them the truth, they will either not believe it or accept the truth, but their hearts will be broken. So he chooses to remain their son, for finding a better outcome for both them and his future. Mu Yang abruptly got out of bed and mouthed, father and mother, I stop aimless partying. They didn't believe their son's words. The boy decided that he needed a fresh start in his life and told his parents so. In the morning his father asked Mu Yang that tomorrow you are going to meet that man who calls himself Young Woman back. Yes, father. Thought that he was to blame for the incident and felt that he should be duly compensated for his prank. I will pay for it. Strange how he can keep his cool after what his silly son has done. But behind his smile hides the bravest of men. It's not even about bravery, not to mention Jagiel Mu Yang, who died an unlikely supporting character. Yargle's noble family played an important role throughout the story of the book. Mu Yang asked his father to enter the scroll repository. His father would not allow his son to enter, and Mu Yang only had to wait for the father to allow him to enter in order for him to gain the knowledge he wanted to gain. His father summoned Sedohan, head of the Heavenly Archives protection team, to find out who sent Mu Yang to the vault, and if he had bad intentions. The fundamental essence It is the foundation of many martial arts, as they all derive from it. Once you touch it, you can learn and master any martial art. Every character has their own way of generating inner energy and using it. It's your own setup, which can be seen throughout the whole hero thing. The problem is that the head of the blood demon cult is aware of the fundamental essence. The novel doesn't say when he finds out about it, he makes it clear that after that, he'll be a dangerous type. It is said that a branch of the Yargul sect, the Diansang sect, and the now-defunct Xuanzhen school have something called a Diary of Heavenly Mysteries, which explains the fundamental essence. To do so he would have to enter the vault. Mu Yang decided to visit the training room. To his surprise he remembered from how his kinfolk had trained him, to the third-level methods, as well as the martial arts. He started with the mind basics of the Rising Star methods. If he repeats a certain phrase, and focuses on his inner power, he will gradually begin to feel a large flame within him. He has succeeded in attaining the Kai energy. Now he decided to start the second and third stage. But something went wrong. As it turned out, Mu Yang's body was very strong, but he didn't use it 100%. Since then he has been sharpening his skills. You can't sleep here. It was the youngest sister. Young mistress, is it possible to disappear from sight like that? Do you have any idea how long I've been looking for you? He took his sister and went to the market. Father was surprised that Mu Yang wanted to go to the market with his sister. But just in case, I'll send a guard with you. A man named Yunyo Myung was assigned to the guard. Just like the novel said, this man is sullen, yet strong. Mu Yang asked his sister to babysit uncle while he was busy with one thing. While his sister went to the market to buy some candy, Mu Yang headed for the Bakari Jin. The legendary figure of the novel hero and the defender must stop the blood demon cult. Far more important, however, is the story of his formation. He has one of the fundamental essences. I'm not crazy to take on a mission to save the world and become an expert in martial arts. The guy decided to follow the storyline only by slightly changing the part about himself. That's why he decided to get close to the Bakari Jin. Mu Yang knocked on the door and was surprised to hear from the back guy. Mu Yang asked back if he wouldn't mind if I came in. He offered money as an apology, but the Bakari Jin refused. The guy was ready for that outcome, so he came up with a different approach to him. I hear you paid a not insignificant compensation for the inn I destroyed. If you don't mind coming to my place. Bakari Jin again declined. The guy had one last trump card up his sleeve, and that was his younger sister. He asked the Bek to educate his sister. I need time to think it over, replied back. How did Mu Yang behave? Asked the Lord. Today he met the Bakari Jin. After that I didn't notice anything remarkable. Shove your apologies wherever you go. I didn't wait all day for you to listen to this bullshit. You should be earning the money you get paid. Have a heart-to-heart talk with him about taking revenge on the Bakari Jin for humiliating him and forcing him to his knees. Young master, why are you so fixated on the Bakari Jin? Is there any? Instead of doing it yourself, wouldn't it be more fun to do it with Yargul Mu Yang's hands? Since Yunyo Mon needs the money, he'll fulfill such a request. Mu Yang and Mon Ko Mon, fighting with wooden swords. You are pathetic and open to any blow. Your breathing must synchronize with the flow of your movements, then you will become faster and stronger. I wasn't fighting at full strength, and I was giving you plenty of slack. It would be great if you could help me tomorrow. Should I? I'll be more serious tomorrow. You won't slip up? No way, Mu Yang answered, it'll only make me feel better. His body is much more powerful than I expected, given just basic physical strength, agility and muscle mass. You wouldn't know he's a lover of women and booze. And yet why do you suddenly feel the urge to train? Isn't it more fun to spend time with my master? Yes, I'm curious myself as to why all of a sudden. Hey, you've been training for a couple of days now. Is there a reason? There's no reason, per se. It just happened. I'm sorry about the time I spent as a rich snob. Is it because of what happened at the hotel? There was nothing else to push me over the edge. You think so? Has an incident like that ever happened before? I'm surprised you only changed after that time. From your point of view it is, but not for me. Like a silkworm emerging from its cocoon, time is also needed to find answers to many questions. I try to make better choices and look for better options to find my way. I appreciate you very much, but for now I have no desire to pass on your most important family legacy. All this time I have relied heavily on you and invested a lot of my time and energy in you, hoping for good results. But you have not lived up to my expectations and have not brought any positive results. However, I will now try to change my mind. I will grant you the right to enter the secret vault. Please forgive me, but I don't trust young Master Mu Yang. The head of the Secret Intelligence Unit of the Celestial Level Archive Squad Seo Duhan. It is only by not trusting and staying on my guard that I can use my duties to protect the family's legacy. However, there is no real reason to reject Mr. Huochbo Sung's request, as he has shown no interest in the secret vault, despite his close relationship with the Research Institute. I'll tell you the rest after I observe the young master some more. Good. If it's important, you can tell me anyway. The more one thinks about it, the more one wonders. Who would have thought my son would change so much? To pay me back with uninterrupted trust and love over the years? Well, quite expected. After all, only my father is above him. I remember the head of Seo didn't appear at the beginning of the story, because he's not an important character, but in the second part of the novel, he does get to understand my father's various tasks and responsibilities. On top of that, he's the head of the Secret Intelligence Unit that protects the archives at the heavenly level. Have I earned some of his trust? I'm still not interested in the position of head of the family, though. I heard you only wanted to see the records of past heads of family, right? In that case, when you go into the vault, stay there under the supervision of my unit. And, of course, you're not allowed to take any notes. The vault has 2 underground floors and 2 above-ground floors. The first underground floor holds weapons handed down by the family. The second underground floor contains precious elixirs. The first ground floor houses the living quarters of our unit and a library with books on various disciplines. On the second floor is the hidden vault itself. The protection in the vault is weaker than Mu Yang expected. He thought he would have to go through several iron bars. The girl suddenly went through the doors. If we wanted, the vault could be turned into a heavenly fortress. There's no point in explaining everything to you. Who would have thought there would be such a thing on the first floor? A girl appeared from the wall. This way you can't go to the last room. Mu Yang is going to sit in the vault for as long as it takes for him to find the Muara of the second head of the Yargle family. Yargle Bina. You mean Bakari Jin? Yes, thought her followers would disappear, and yet she managed to keep her reputation. So he got along with my son, did he? It wasn't enough just to be compensated, he also invited Jinzang's disciple to visit us, ha ha. I wonder what my son is thinking. It wasn't enough just to be compensated, he also invited a Jinzang disciple to visit us, ha ha. I'm curious, why did you decide to give up your training for someone you saw today for the first time? Because it's the first time I've met someone with potential in a long time. I didn't teach him anything special. Rather, we just had a nice chat. Murim has not helped the Diansan sect who sacrificed themselves for him in any way for many years. Much time has passed and we are staying under the pretext of being busy, bogged down in the daily grind, completely forgetting the former power and strength of the sect. By the way, it's been 2 days since Mu Yang entered the vault, right? Should we tell him that his guest has arrived? No, when the time comes he will come out himself. That's why I felt this was the perfect opportunity to repay their sacrifice a little. So what was the bottom line I was pursuing? True power cannot be achieved by exclusive forward movement. Quickly I found them. Here's a snippet scene. Bakari Jin. Gotta remember that memoir. Where did that pile-up come from? The novel didn't say how many volumes and pages the memoirs consisted of. After briefly describing them, it was told that the Bakari Jin remembered them all. In other words, nowhere was it mentioned whether he achieved that effect by reading all of it or just part of it. In fact, I have to learn the contents of each manuscript. Mu Yang walked out of the vault. Is this how prelates who have been released from prison felt? It took some time, but now each entry is engraved in my memory. Part of me realized that Yargle Mu Yang was kind of gifted, but for the speed with which he managed, he could be ranked as a genius. Also, as I memorized all the memoirs, I suddenly stumbled across something. At first I was afraid of an overload of energy, but it was all right. Circulating it in a new way allowed me to learn a new method of mind training. In order to be a real genie who has never studied the method of mind training, one must realize that the memoirs were not meant to show interventions eliminating chaotic thoughts in the mind. If the descendants of the Jagul family carefully train according to the instructions in the memoir, they are sure to discover quite a few new things. What would you call this method? It is worth considering that I am now in the world of the novel. How did you know I was out of the archives? Did anything happen while I was gone? Bakri Jin came by. He'll only leave the training ground if he has to study literature with the young lady. Well, I'll go see my father and then I'll pay him a visit afterwards. There's no hurry, since he's already got over himself and decided to come to us. Oh, I'm so pleased. I studied the morning mind training technique and decided to visit me Bev Rigi. I've missed you, friend. Training ground, back honed skills. I had been trying to fence more actively for so long, but the problem was resolved after a single sword fight. The head of the Yatea family compared to my Dianza sect, which has lost much of its influence and followers to the invasion of the blood demon cult. I must revive my sect again. First, the vanished martial arts must be restored. In order to do that, we must find traces of the legacy we had before the death of my older fighting brother. Since there are no leads yet, I can't go back like this. Even if I have to spend all my money and become a vagabond, I will not renounce the shadow of my sect. The head says you've been training in seclusion. I was just reading the writings of my ancestors and contemplating how to live my life. I'm jealous. You even have books that describe the will of the fathers. The atmosphere has changed dramatically. You shouldn't do that because I have a present for you. Right. Leave the thinking behind. Let's go get a drink. Thanks for the offer, but I have to study. My dad said it's a good thing to make friends with the Dianzang sect. I'd like to share what I learned from my ancestors with you. Who knows, maybe it will help you. In any case, Beck Region's storyline must necessarily include a story about a long-lost mind training technique. Even if I tell him about it earlier, it won't affect the course of events in any way. Yunyo take the day off today. Since he saw me with the Bakari Jin, he'll run to report to Huanbo Sungu. Hurry up. It's necessary for the story of the Bakari Jin to continue. Seriously, how much did we drink? I love the uncommon taste of booze. Shut up. I'm about to die. According to tradition, we were supposed to respect and follow the teachings of our ancestors by having a couple of glasses of wine. A man should behave sensibly and not wallow in excessive drinking. By the way, why do people despise you? Beck asked. Ah. You mean the fact that they call me an idiot, a retard, a mongrel of the Yargle family and a fool is payback for a kind of rebelliousness. I'm supposed to be the best in my family, but since I know how things really are, I started behaving this way. But now I am trying to make a better life for myself. Can I say something to justify my letdown? Don't focus so much on the goal in front of you. You get the impression that you only see it, and sometimes you have to look back, to yourself and to the sides, and even both sides at the same time. Both ways asked backwards. Moving forward is not the only choice. Retreating is just as much a choice as sidestepping or even walking backwards with your back. I directly felt her concentrate. Me, how else? After all, these words belong to the second Gaiaway of the Yagaya family, Yatea Binu. You know what is good about the life of a fool? He is free from the shackles of the order of society. You have to go beyond laws, discipline, manners, and valor to know justice. Have I managed to interest him? Just stop poring over me. If I pass on the long-lost mind training technique, I can easily meet the first condition for obtaining the Diary of Heavenly Mysteries. My helping Bakari Jin is a bit like boosting a friend in a game. Yunyo, how long have you been standing there? There's something I have to tell you about. I'm sorry, but if it's not urgent, maybe we can talk tomorrow. It's urgent. Young Master Huanbo wants me to pass this on to you. It was made from several poisonous plants. He said that if you drink it in a day you will get red spots and go blind. When you are given a choice, make a clear decision, as I did. These moments happen to us because of the way we behave. Soon the meaning of my words will come to him. In the story, Mu Yang tried to send Bakari Jin, but his father caught him in the act. For fear of Huanbo Sung, he didn't give him up until the end. Yes. Do you know Huanbo Sung of the Huanbo family? Aren't you close friends? He sent the poison. He wanted me to poison a disciple of the Jianzang sect. You mean the Bakari Jin? Why the hell would he want that? I guess it's because I didn't get along with him first. Leave him here and go. I'll take care of it. No, Mu Yang replied. The children's strife should not affect the relationship between the families. I have an idea. The father eventually found out where the poison came from. It came from a local criminal society of dark assassins. It's a group of scum willing to do anything for money, even murder. People later learn that they are followers of a blood demon cult, but no matter how hard they try, no clues are found. Instead, the names of Zeke people, including Huanbo Suit, will be found on the client list of the Dark Assassins, causing him to be banished from the family. And the Yargle family will receive compensation from the Huangbosuit family, which includes a two-mech. But about that later. For now, I'll just give my father a thought. And then, like in the novel, he'll find out about the Dark Assassins himself. Hey, where are you off to this morning? To the training ground. Oh, really? Great, let's go together. Well, I just remembered there's something I need to do. Fuck him. He won't even talk to me. If he gave me poison, it's too obvious. I think he hates me. Funny guy. Better let him go now. If I follow, I'll get my head kicked in. It's been a day of fun practicing. You had so much to drink last night, you're already up to your neck in the morning. I just want to learn how to defend myself. Then how about you challenge me to a duel? He's offering me a duel with a man who seems lazy to get stronger. All right, let's do it. I have no reason to refuse to learn from a future hero. We'll fight with real swords, using only 10% internal energy. But I've never used a real sword before. The more I retreat, the faster his blow catches up with me. The first stage of the long-forgotten mind training technique. Here we go. I've blocked it. I'll attack as I please. Are you okay? This is new to me. At first he was so unspecified and confused breathing, then I took him as a 38th rookie, but he was taking experience into account. Gain during your combat to build up. Of particular interest is the planted attack. How will he hone it and use all his inner energy? Will I be able to defend myself? I'm sorry, I know I'm all messed up, but could you get me up? Here, get up. The more I get to know him, the more uninitiated I become. Sometimes he gets himself into trouble. But at the same time, he's carefree. Somehow he manages not to think much about everything. At times he seems to be deep in thought. Approaching him at such a close distance, it was difficult to resist with his strength, and because of that I was thrown back hard. And when I tried to recover, there was an explosion of force. What was it? From that day on, the training sessions went on, so that the previously incomprehensible moments began to become clear to me. After 4 days, I became accustomed to the rising star effect of the Jejela family caused by the method. And other techniques, like the deceptive step learned in the long-lost mind training technique. And knowledge gained enhances my resistance to the oncoming dragon. I was delighted not a day went by without results. But unlike me, he didn't like it. Hey, what are you doing? Not pissed off that I'm not paying enough attention to you? But even so, isn't murder too much? I understand that you have no ill intentions towards me. If there's no personal reason here, someone must have hired me. I'm sure it's your former master, Huanbo Sung. First of all, he is not my master. I never served him. I understand his desire to harm me, but I need to remain vigilant. It is up to me to save this murderous blow. By handing me the poison, you have done your master's bidding, you obedient dog. You can always change your mind. No, it's too late. Young master, this is Seo Duhan, I've come to see you. Mu Yang deftly dodges the attack. This is not good. Now even Seo's toe can crush Mon. This is a bad situation. Just now his eyes were glittering with lust to kill and his blade was raring to fight. How else could it be interpreted? Stand back, we're just sparring, Mu Yang replied. I thought that before I go to Murim I would have to learn how to fight in different environments. Yes, I wanted to tell my father about it later. I'm doomed. I have to say unnecessary things to resolve the situation. Why wouldn't I want to go to the Murim? I realize that judging by his lust to kill, he was probably just pretending to spar in order to keep you alive. However, if you don't feel hope in the Murim and don't want to go into it, it is important to listen to your instincts and make a decision that is consistent with your values and well-being. No. Mun, my faithful co-conspirator. He's not the kind of person who would betray, believe me. Then here's what we'll do. If the words about his loyalty are true, he'll be at the forefront of the Dark Assassins' enslavement. Dark Assassins? You mean you discovered them and father found out their location? He did it faster than I expected. Kim Myung will be joining us. Now we can use his help to solve our problems. Your father wants you to be with them. I'll see you tomorrow morning at the back gate. Why did you help me? Myung lends Huangbo Sungguk money to buy medicine for his dying sister and to buy back the children he is caring for at the orphanage. Until this time, he has been able to repay his debt by running errands rather than running errands. Huang Bosung is more likely to push him over the edge. That's why he went so far. Why did you help me? You are already one of my men. I can't stand silently watching Huang Bosung take advantage of you. If you agree, go to the front line. If you do, I'll return the favor to them. Did you know about this? Only guessed. If you did not go for murder out of personal motives and not because you think Huang Bosung is your master, then the reason can only be duty. You can't help me with that. It's really a huge amount. For example, a peasant earns only 10 in a year. In any case, it's up to you. Whether to become free. If Yargle didn't forgive you, I'd kill you. Said the back. He showed mercy, so don't disappoint him. Today we'll head east to the Mount of the Thousand Buddhas, to its very summit. And fight the base of the Dark Assassins. The mountain may look unremarkable, but there is a magical field there, the Dark Assassin's absolute mirage, which conceals a staircase leading to a cave. Our goal is to destroy the field at sunset and finish off the Dark Assassins. To those who lead the fighters to the front line will be. I'll go. Yunyo Mon has responded. One more thing, a disciple of the Jianzan sect will also be joining us. I look forward to working with you, Yargle. Let's go. Oh shit. I've lost sight of them. Gotta catch up. I can't even use Xingen. I should have asked Baek Ri Jin to bring me up. Has young Master Mu Yang arrived yet? No. He must be unfamiliar with Qinggong. That and powerful. So powerful that my organs almost burst. I could have fought so fast and hard if I'd put my best foot forward, but it all just doesn't add up if he's got a limp Xing. He's the opposite of logical. There's something amazing about him that defies explanation. A lot of things about him we can't understand if we rely on common sense. You must have felt it yourself. Night has fallen. Time to execute the plan. What the hell is that bastard doing? We're about to infiltrate an enemy base. Kai will follow the plot, he'll definitely take out all the Dark Assassins, but he'll miss their head, as the inside of the cave resembles a maze. But I'm not him. I know where to find the chapter. We have to block his escape route and capture him. Found it. The head will try to escape on that boat, but if he doesn't, he can't escape. Now he has to find a way out of the cave. The novel says it will be behind the rock with the unnamed graves. Over there. The chapter almost walled it up. But I need to get in there to get something. The magical field at the entrance has been destroyed. Damn it. Prepare to retreat. Kill everyone who saw our faces and participated in the auction. Kill everyone here. Who could have broken the field? I don't care about the stuff, it'll be enough to keep this. Those bastards killed everyone who took part in the auction and fled inland. Luckily, we found the records of the transactions. It's going to be hard to get through. Please help me figure it out so I can find a way to overcome the difficulty. In the future, the Huangbo family will discover ancient swords during their research, but it will become the responsibility of the Yage family to keep what has happened a secret. These aren't just any old swords, you need to get hold of them as soon as possible. Where are they? I distinctly remember that they were found in a mystical cave in Misraira. Has something changed? Who did you ask the head? No consideration was given to how much stronger he was, since he didn't show up much after he escaped on the boat. They're here, so does that mean Reihuj has entered the cave? In that case I need to buy some time for the head of family, him, to get here. Mu Yang ducked from the blow. I'm not your enemy, a bunch of stalkers are chasing you, so you'd better give up. We're not tenants as it is, since we lost all the stuff our tenants gave us. No matter where we have to die. There's an idiot who thinks he can beat us. I don't know how you found out about this place, but we'll use you. Hurry up and break it here. Mu Yang deftly parried the enemy's attacks. Training has not been in vain. Dodging his blows isn't so hard anymore. This is a real fight, and I don't even have a weapon. If I make even one mistake, you jump like a rat in a cage. Hey kid, good moves, but why aren't you attacking? Damn it. What was holding them up there? Weren't they supposed to get to Roman quickly and easily? Ouch. I changed my mind. I wanted to take you as a hostage to save myself, but since they're in no hurry to get here, I won't need a hostage. If you don't get in the way, I'll let you go. Either way, backup will arrive in time. It'll be hard for them to break our mechanism. So that's why they're twisting. The novel didn't say anything about that. If I don't get in your way, let me go. I thought it was hard to negotiate with the scum of known families, but I like you. Hey, let's get out of here quick. He'll betray very soon, you'll have to go back, because the trap has closed. We have to look for the swords before they leave. Damn, where's the boat? If we can get out of here, at least we'll save our lives, and it'll be because of that. Get ready to go back and kill the boy. We're going to die soon anyway, so let's do the last thing we love the most. Even if it's from Yatea's family, they'll have a hard time breaking the defense mechanism. And when they can, it won't matter what happens next. But I'll take the boy's head. The novel didn't say there were several foxholes. In fact, there's a lot of details left out. If they were here before the Dark Assassin's base was formed, then they're very old. Northern Sun and Moon Monster are items that should be given to Baek-ri Jin and the next chapter of the Yaga family, as stated in the book. As the head is about to change, you can borrow them temporarily until the new head has other weapons. For those who know nothing about this sword, it may seem like a simple piece of metal. If you run some inner energy through it, it becomes a stunning weapon with sharp edges, appearing like the claws of an erupting gorse. Unfortunately, there are no knives. They would have been useful, as it's not usually sharpened. Hey you brat! Come out snot-lout. I don't have a choice. I'll have to fight with the Dark Warriors. What do you think's quicker? Kill you with those ugly ones from yours? Snot-lout, ouch, let's see which one of us would make a better fighter. Let's see how you handle me, brave and fearless. No, really, you're like a rat. Stand up. My hand is numb from the endless blocks. It's inferior to the Baek-ri Jin, but the length of the spade makes it hard for me to get any closer. What to do? What's the rumble? Is the pre-chamber about to collapse? I guess the guys you've been waiting for broke the mechanism. Time to say goodbye. Get ready, I got it. Since it's Picadic, it's forced to step back so that the ensuing blow is stronger. The piker won't let me get any closer, and on top of that, since he's moved away, it's even harder to get to him. I'll seize the opportunity the moment he retreats. I'll be able to advance before he arrives. A long-lost mind training technique. Get it over with. The path is divided. Split into two groups. Master Seo, what do you think that explosion was? Is it possible that Mu Yang came? Kid. When will you stop ducking? He's backing away. Gotcha, die. Ducking won't work, so, block, ouch. That familiar feeling is happening. The vibrations from the yank of the blow excite my inner energy, causing it to concentrate in me. I gather my snake and sharply penetrate through my belt. And my hands, as if moving along the paths of Kai straight into the sword's spur, creating an explosive wave. My heart feels like it's about to burst. I was able to kill him. Damn, stabbing a man is not as easy as described. My heart felt like it was about to jump out of my chest. For the world I'm in now, that's the norm. It's worth getting used to. If I want to survive, I'll be dead before I get used to the new reality. I don't even have the strength to stand up anymore. I'd hate to die at the hands of minor characters. What happens when I die? Mu Yang? You did a good job. Beck, take this sword. He killed all the criminals, that was cool. I survived after all. What are you doing here? You can't even fight. Young master, are you all right? You're too late, asshole, I almost died. I didn't expect to be so happy to see them. Mu Yang. This could have ended in disaster if we hadn't gotten here in time. How long have you been here? Am I home? What happened while I was away? They pulled out the Book of Deals. Luckily, the Moon Monster's here. And the Northern Sun, too? I gave it to him. How right he is. He's going to get the sword anyway. Because. A description of the martial art and letters left by the former owner, Taoist Bavmun. Daoist, Beck Mu of the Jieni sect. At one time I was in search of the higher principles of our sect. However, of my own free will, I left it, even before I clearly understood its ideals. You must climb to the highest point of Zhenyang province, face north, so that the heavens will reveal their secrets and harmony will be established on the water. You must climb to the highest point of Zhenyang province, face north, so that the heavens will reveal their secrets and harmony will be established on the water. For the heavenly mysteries will be revealed when the water is smooth. Why did my ancestors' legacy end up in a place we would never have guessed? Also this letter. What is the calm smoothness of the water mirror that even my ancestors could not find? Remember my words when we were drinking, Sukazal Mu Yang. In fact, I took them from the writings of your ancestors. Every time I reread them, the thoughts in my head became more and more ordered. Is this some kind of mind training technique? No. But this something has a special power to free the mind. It was lost so long ago that even the elders of my family don't know anything about it. There was so much text, I couldn't rewrite it all, but I tried. I'm sure you'll find it useful. Are you sure you want to give me such a gem? Yes, as I have already learned the deeply hidden message of the unhallowed secrets described by my ancestors. We need the key to the celestial mysteries that will lead us to the basic principles of our families. Is the key told there too? If my hunch is correct, the odds are very high. But I'm not so sure. The answer to the calm surface of the water mirror that Deusback Moon was looking for is in our family. My God, I wonder why the basic principles of the Diansan sect are similar to yours. They're two radically different structures. And I wonder. And as for the sect of heavenly mysteries, let me unravel them as well. What do you mean? I'd like to find the basic principles of the Diansan sect with you. After what I've experienced with Wan Chong, there's no point in dodging the answer any longer. I will give him the long-lost mind training technique to help him achieve a state of calm mind, and guide him in his search for the ancient heavenly secrets to gain power along with him. That's the only way I can survive in this world. I've already talked it over with the Bakari Jin, there's still one unfinished business. Fortunately, I'm here with my father's permission. Young master, a guest of the Jagil family has come to the appointment. The eldest son of the Huangbo family, Huangbo Lim. I received a message from my father. You suggested that the incident should not be disclosed out loud. Rumors of your quick understanding of the matter did not lie. Keep the unnecessary compliments to yourself. I don't regret wasting my precious time chattering about nothing. Ah well. Here are the original records. Please take a look, it has Huangbo Sung's name on it. If you burn the notebook, it will be over. Our meeting is unofficial. You've revealed your cards without even stating what you want in return. I believe you won't do that. Why should I? Huangbo Sung is your half-brother, isn't he poisoning your family's honor? This incident could be a pretext to restrain him to act as you please. He doesn't particularly like Huangbo Sung. He's convinced that the brother is not fit for a noble Huangbo. And, he's also part of my family. Do you despise us? He tried to unleash a conflict between a disciple of the Jinsang sect and his enemy by asking him to poison the latter. Don't forget that in such a situation, we are the ones who feel that we are despised. I did not say this to appease him. He won't be able to kill me anyway. At this informal meeting my presence was called for by my father. He, as a representative of our influential family, is keen to make sensible decisions and will not act thoughtlessly. Interesting. So, do you want conflict between the families or what? I believe in your good reputation. I also believe that since you honor it, you'll take me up on my offer. Then tell me what you're offering. I need one of your men. An escort, young Monday. He owes a large sum of money to Huangbo Sung for medicine for his sister, and for the innocent children at the orphanage who are being held as collateral. So you're asking me to close the debt and release the boy? Okay, but on one condition. So you want to pay off one debt with another? There's something else I'd like to ask. Mu Jiang was forced to drink a jug of sake, that was a condition. No, it's the last sip. Get out, why haven't you heard from him yet? It's been a long time since I handed over the poison. It's been a while, buddy. Permission to come in? He's got it. Sure you can handle it alone. There's a record of the Dark Assassin's deal. Don't forget, Bakari Jin is a disciple of the Jinsang sect. If anyone finds out that you almost poisoned him, I followed my father's orders and inspected their refuge, where I found this. The reputation of the great Huangbo family could be tarnished. Are you kidding me? The Dark Assassins are not connected to the Blood Demon cult. However, I am curious as to whether the man who represents the secret killers of Huangho Sungu is connected to him. I went to a music banquet with my friend from the Yuhaiyan family. He told me that someone in his family had received a mystical sculpture from the Dark Assassins. That's how I found out about them. Got it. Did their salesman wear a mask? Mu Yang gave the records to the assistant. What are you doing? How could you? Damn you, you bloody degenerate. I wanted to ask Wangbo Lim for permission to meet Wangbo Sung in person. I kept my promise. Everything has been resolved. My father and I talked about the orphanage. He will take care of it. You can live freely now. I will accompany your work as you have done your part. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that last sentence. I should have said I needed it. You want to go to Murim? Seo told me about it. I'm very proud of the fact that you're getting better every day. You can do anything. There's something I'd like to give you. In the cave of the Dark Assassins, the man you killed dropped this. You've probably heard of the elixir of the primordial stalactite. Yes, it's the same elixir that significantly strengthens one's inner energy. It can even correct physical metamorphosis with just 10 drops. It is important to remember that the use of such elixirs requires caution and a prudent approach. It is advisable to consult a qualified practitioner for advice before experimenting with such remedies. An amazing thing, in terms of efficacy it is the best of the 200 jewels. I have no idea how the elixir could have ended up in a place like this, but I have it now. I'd like to talk about the blood demon cult behind the Dark Assassins, but now is not the right time for that kind of talk, which is not what I expected. It's useless to me, since my body is soaked in herbs and elixirs, which the Agul family has persistently pilled yarn with until now. Plus, I am only a minor character, so I don't know how much I can become. Better father, if this precious elixir now belongs to me, can I pass it on to someone else? Aren't you going to drink it yourself? I think such a valuable item would be more useful to a gifted martial artist than to me. I was counting on you to get it, but you are thinking bigger. I understand that you feel guilty about him, as he has been working hard for the good of your family since he got here. I have heard your opinion and wish. And I have no regrets about giving the elixir to you. Follow me, it's time to get the thing I had to keep secret for fear that you will revert back to your old ways. It's time to get the thing I've been keeping secret. From the look on his face, he's overflowing with enthusiasm. Who'd have thought there'd be a place like this behind the secret vault? This is the training room. You must be curious why we came here. In fact, I've been following you for some time. I've been thinking about what needs to be done to prepare you for the place of the young head of the family you've been dodging. Why did he suddenly bring it up? That's not the future I'm dreaming of. I don't want to go down that road, where I sacrifice my life in a hard struggle. I've already had a lot of difficulties in gaining well-being and self-reliance, but I think that's still a long way off. Besides, your relatives have not yet seen how much you have changed. That's why I was hoping that you would take over as head of the family by winning the family contest. But first, you need to establish a good reputation. Then let me go to the Murim. We have come here because I need to give you important information about your departure. It is not from our family, but from me personally. I want to give you your legacy, that you acquired during your stay in the Murim. Peel with poison, what? But an unusual one, and of the highest quality. It has been waiting a long time for its owner. It's a kind of potent poison. One of the 200 jewels is a poison pilulus, to be taken by one who is trained in the handling of poisons. She is the inner core of the seven-colored serpent. It is huge and intelligent, so it hides among the tree crowns in the jungle. Did you catch it yourself? Yes. If you learn the Peel properly, you'll be immune to 70 kinds of poisons. No doubt it's a great advantage to be immune to poisons. Father believes it is, in the Murim, that I will be most trained in the handling of poisons. But don't forget, the snake pill does not grant you absolute immunity to all poisons. I'll explain what to do next. He said the poison pill is in a red wooden box, and the shining pill is in a black one. If you swallow it without any protection, it will be extremely difficult to deal with the poison. The glowing pill is needed as a painkiller and to stop the poison from spreading. If you don't, the Kai will start to deflect. You have to endure it. I'm a little scared, though. I hope I don't die. Being able to enter the Murim is crucial. This ordeal is a price to be borne in the name of my personal development in the future. Nothing will happen to him. You have a way of comforting me. Give this to the disciple of the Diantang sect from Muyang. The primordial tear of the glass. The young master seems to have changed in many ways. Can I take that as a reason to rely on him from now on? Or is it too early? Frankly, it would be ungodly to deny that I wish to gain knowledge and experience in technique and martial arts. Even if it strengthens my equilibrium, I accept that I need to find the inner energy to properly develop this knowledge. Young Master Mu Yang gave it to you after a personal meeting with my father. Why would he give me such a valuable item? Who would do such a thing without asking for something in return? I owe him enough. He invests in you as much as he sees the potential. Your potential isn't more valuable than a bottle of pristine stalactite dew. Like Seo said, if Yargle really believes in my future and is trying to help, I'll prove it. Almost over. The energy of the long-lost mind training technique along with the mystical power of the poison pill, pushing out the poison spreading through my meridians. The flow of energy through my body seems to have accelerated. Oh, you. What took you so long? Are you all right? Were you worried? Is everything all right? Are you sure nothing's wrong? I think the things I've noticed in the training room, including the glowing pillow, are really helping. In addition, the slags that had accumulated in my body for a long time came out along with the poison, and the Ren and Du meridians, which had been closed since childhood, opened up. Oh, the effect was far more prima facie than I expected. I'm sure our ancestors noticed your change, so they helped you with the unknown. Yes, you're right, Father. I'll go to their funeral plaques and be punished for that kind of mercy. You go rest. What's that? I picked them up in the street. You're gonna have to give me a hard time. Anyone can see it's made with a lot of work. What a book. Did you shit your trousers before you got here? How can a man exude such a stench? When she turns 16, she will be the youngest soldier in the history of Shandu province and will serve under a general. Everything goes as it should. Even in the novel, she makes a beautiful mistress. It's a shame to distract her, but there's no choice. We must move on. Oh Lord, will you stay with her? Just as children miss their parents' love, she misses her big brother. Learning isn't the whole of life. In that case, I'll distract her for a while. It stinks. Why the back went to training. The movement, infusing explosive power through the undergoing blows, is definitely a killer sword technique. But I don't want to rub it in for so long for one punch. If only I could use it from the start of the fight. Now, Mu Yang broke the prowess sword. Did you put up a weak guard? The underground prison is the home of the Huanbo family. From what I knew of the young lord's abilities, there were enough guards. Maybe they didn't take the pill or something. I am more than sure he bought something capable of increasing his strength for a short time. I should be punished for my blunder. No, their deaths are my fault. I should have ripped out the rotten root of our family tree long ago. I showed mercy and let him live, but he raised his hand against members of his own family. Don't call him young master. Almost. Damn it, they've lost the sung. And on top of that, they suspect he's taken a fire dragon pill. It temporarily awakens dormant human potential. This is just one of the seeds of evil developed by the blood demon cult in Murim. Gender potential refers to the energy that keeps a person alive. However, the body is unlikely to be able to function in this mode for long. Sun has decided to renounce everything for revenge? Then he must now head to. We will send our students to support the Huanbo family persecution squad. I don't think that will be necessary. Why not? Wouldn't it be better to help them catch him quickly and end the problem? He'll come to us for revenge himself. Even though our family doesn't seem resilient, I'm still here and full of energy. Couldn't he have gone mad? Yes, that's what I mean, Sung is mad enough for such a thing. He'll probably show up. But who will protect Beck? Isn't he defenseless while he's absorbing the primordial dew of the stalactite? Don't worry about that. I've already asked the head of Seo to keep an eye on him. There's nothing to worry about. He's one of the most powerful people you just can't beat. Yeah, because he fooled a man he looked up to. You won't have to wait long. We used to spend time together, so he knows where my room is. Don, you? You snuck in somehow. Yunyo, there's a kunai in my coma. What? Is that Sung? How dare you trick me? I'll kill you all here. Stop it. Father? Yes, his power is capable of causing a powerful gust of wind with just a wave of his hand. He was given the title of Celestial Hurricane for a reason. Where do you think you are to dare make a mess? You were right. I was sure he'd come. If the rest of the family was a threat to me, I wouldn't have come here. What did you say? How can you be so stupid? Don't you see that even though outwardly our house looks shabby, my father and elders are in fine shape? You lowlife. You think you've worked a little hard, felt the power in you, and that's it. You're still the same Yargle Muyang that crawled at my feet. But now I'm capable of a lot of things. A lot of things. You think I've only been working with these people? With the amount of people waiting outside, I could wipe this place to dust. What happened? Beck repelled all the enemy's blows and killed X-Unionmon. Where are you going? Don't get distracted. You came for me, right? TZ. You've been training lately, but you don't seem to be getting anywhere. And that's great. I can take down the scion of a fading Yargle family. Yeah, take all your subordinates with you and attack. Show me where it's at, it will be done. He wields his sword with his hands, but there is a sound of metal. This is a Huanbo family fist technique that harnesses the dormant potential of the one using it. It consists of real and false blows. This technique is well honed for one-on-one combat. Muyang was able to hit Sung with his sword. He's stronger than me because I've only been training for 100 days, but that doesn't mean I don't have a chance to win. While he looks at me with snobbery, I'll use my maximum strength. I'm far more desperate than he is. Huanbo Sung. What? Sun Pad, young master of the Huanbo family, Huanbo Lim, how dare you do that? I'll finish you off. Earlier symptoms of Kai energy deflection. Who are you to talk about ending? It's not over. Lim hit Sung on the head. I salute you, head of the Yargle family. Let's skip the formalities. You must have your hands full. Just take him. We owe you. The debt will be paid on my watch. Future Lightning Fist Juog, our debtor? We got a lot more out of this incident than we expected. Goodbye Huanbo Sung. Thank you for coming on time. I didn't even pay you a small part of what I owed you of what I owe you. Forget it. I'm sure you're more valuable than a bottle of elixir. Here's some silver coins we took from the Dark Assassin's hideout. You'll need them on your first trip to Murim. I gave them to you so you wouldn't bet on the foundations of our house or anything else in the games. I gladly gave them to you, but going to Murim teaches you not to play with luxuries and responsible behavior regarding many things. Besides, it's not good for newbies to be wasted in a Murim. When do you plan to go? Tomorrow at midnight. I'm meeting my sister. How can you be so beautiful in your sleep? I didn't expect to feel anything, but it's sad to leave her. I'll show my father the results of my training and identify what I need to learn better.